Hello, my people. Hello, my friends. Good morning and welcome back to having our podcast show. Get ready to be inspired because today, in our series, The Everyday Leader, we are building on the one thing that matters most for a positive future. The one thing that can change everything, and that is leadership. This is the third episode of season 1, and we are just getting started. So buckle up, lean in, and get ready to be inspired. This is the leadership series you have been waiting for. Every day, come across leadership experiences, instances where we want to show leadership or we have to show leadership. Whether we are leading a team at work, maybe a project at school, or even maybe you are just leading your family at home. You should by now know that leadership is not about fancy titles or having a corner office. It's about the actions that we take every single day. In our previous episodes, we talked about leadership, the concept of leadership as a beginner, and why leadership is very important in our everyday activities. Also, we reflected on some relevant questions. These questions bordered on the qualities of an everyday leader. We look at influence, trust, reliability, focus, sacrifice, accountability, and most importantly, what I call the mirror test. I am sure by now you have gone over the questions and also look at how these qualities relate to your everyday activities. Today's episode, which I have titled Leadership is Not About Titles, we will be discussing the questions into detail. Let's start with influence and trust. Influence and trust are two different entities, two different words, two different qualities by themselves, but they are the core principles of leadership. The ancient philosopher Lao Tzu said, a leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim is fulfilled, they will say, we did it ourselves. This speaks to the heart of what true influence is. It is not about being in the spotlight. It's not about being on the waves all the time. It's about empowerment. Remember that true leaders don't demand respect. Respect is earned, and every true leader who is respected actually earned it. You influence people by your actions as a leader, not by your title. And as for the matter of trust, I say that trust is the currency of leadership. Without trust, your words are just noise. This whole concept leads us to the idea of growth. Looking at influence, trust, having them together, it propels you towards growth. Jack Welch, he put it perfectly when he said that before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. But when you become a leader, success is all about growing others. He's trying to tell us, once we are trying to attain the position of leadership, we are focused on making ourselves better, reaching the apex of our lives. But the moment we attain the position of leadership, success is no more about us, but how we are able to impact the life of those around us, the lives of the people we come across every single day, and the life of the people we are able to change every single time. Now let's talk about the practical side of leadership. Leadership, for every leader, it is easy to get caught up in our own goals. I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to... You see, you have a lot of goals as a leader, and it is very easy to get caught up in. But a great leader is actually people-centered. As a leader, you should be able to take care of your team, your followers, those who have willfully decided to succumb to you, to your control. Make your space a home to them. Make sure that your team is well taken care of. And when your team is well taken care of, they will do everything for you. They will do for you whatever you so desire. even without you asking them to do. People-centered leaders are able to create the environment where are they. Simon Sinek, I read in one of his books, and a quote that I am very, very moved towards, where he said that leadership is not about being in charge. Leadership is about taking charge of those around you. That means putting your team's needs before your own and creating an environment where they can thrive. Part of that is being reliable. As a leader, you need to be reliable. For consistency builds confidence. When you are reliable, your team knows they can always fall back on you. Your team knows they can depend on you all the time. No leader is perfect, and that is okay. Leadership is so complex that you cannot embody every aspect of it in one person or at a go. So you don't expect perfection from you as a leader. What truly matters as a leader is how you are able to handle your imperfections. And that is where I want to draw in the concept of accountability. Ronald Reagan, he once said, the greatest leader is not necessarily he who does the greatest things, but the greatest leader is the one that gets people to do the greatest things. This is about building a team that can succeed with or without you. So Reagan is saying, as a leader, you should be able to build a team that can succeed without you, and not a team that will collapse in your absence. Leaders own their mistakes. Leaders are transparent and they take responsibility for their actions. This ties us directly to the principle of sacrifice. I love the concept of sacrifice. They say, as a leader, you must be willing to give up something that's very important to you for the greater good of your team. No matter small or incompetent you think your team is, no matter how little you see your team, let them understand why you are doing this and that. Let them understand why you wake up in the morning and you do A, B, and C. Let them know the necessary details and it builds the confidence. If your team members understand everything you are going through and everything you are doing, it makes them feel comfortable anytime they work around you. It also means that you are involving them, and that makes them happy. And when that happens, they will wholeheartedly involve themselves in whatever you do, and anytime you need it, they will be able to reach out to you. Your team is not going to be a team just by name. It's going to be a team that will work together and not work in silos. Warren Bennett put it in this perspective where he said, leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Every leader has a vision. In fact, the whole idea of leadership is that you should have a vision. But how do you convert your vision into reality? And that is very important. How? And most importantly, how do you know if you are truly doing that effectively? That is the conversion of leadership into reality. Before we wrap up today, I want us to look at what we call the mirror test. It's simple but very, very incredible and powerful. Ask yourself this question. As a leader, or maybe as a random person, if I walk into a room and someone exactly like me, who bears my qualities, who does whatever I do in the same manner, is leading people, will I be comfortable to follow that person wholeheartedly without reservation? And I always say that if there is an atom way of doubt in your heart about following such a person wholeheartedly, then you just need to be honest to yourself, tell yourself the truth, and improve upon your leadership style, or maybe change it completely. This is the ultimate test of leadership effectiveness. And if you're able to get a positive response, then you know that you are a leader on the right path. But if you're not able to follow the person, or you sign out to follow the person, then there's something questionable over there. So I will ask you, as a leader, Are you building a legacy of followers or you are creating more leaders? Ralph Nader said, the function of leadership is to produce more leaders and not more followers. So, are you building a legacy of followers or are you creating more leaders? Think about that. Whether you are a CEO or you are just starting out, remember these principles we have discussed today. And remember that true leadership is an ongoing journey of self-reflection and a commitment to helping others succeed. Stay connected with us on all our social media channels and wherever our name pops up. We are building a community of everyday leaders and we want you and your friends and families to be part of it. Thank you for being with me on this journey. Until next time, remember that you are a leader every single day. I'm your host, Yussif, and this is Having a